Talking about sound devices. If you can't see something, if you can't see my screen, you have an issues, let me know. So don't let me go on. So sound devices. So we're going to have four little worksheets that you're going to have to do on this. And so you need to know about these. There's actually four devices, but this little video will talk about three of them. It's only 5-6 minutes.
Hello, grammarians. Hello, Rosie.
Hi, David.
So you've caught me mid-scribble in the greatest challenge of my career. Will I be able to write the word onomatopoeia?
You can do it.
I get it?
You did it.
Yes. This is one of my least favorite words to spell, but one of my favorite things to talk about, because what we're talking about today is alliteration, assonance, and onomatopoeia. And these are all words that are related to the way language sounds. But let's begin with alliteration. Rosie, what is alliteration?
Alliteration is when a series of words all start with the same consonant.
So what's a good example of that?
Robert Park swam swiftly, surely, and straight ahead.
So you can see that all these pink words here, swam, swiftly, surely, straight ahead, all begin with S. And so this is why we call this alliteration, because S is a consonant, and all of these things share a similar consonant sound. Now I want to contrast that with assonance, which is what, Rosie?
Assonance is when a series of words all start with the same vowel. Althea abolished all anguish.
So you can see all of these words in this sentence in the same vowel neighborhood.
Right.
But my favorite of all is onomatopoeia, which comes from Greek, and it basically means like onomat means a name resulting from doing. So really, this word just means sounds like what it does. So anything that you would conceive of as a sound effect, like a word that comes from a sound effect. So the bees buzzed, for example. Like what is buzzed? Well, it's the sound that a bee makes. It's what it does. That word is derived from the buzz sound. But that's not the only example of onomatopoeia. We've compiled here a list. What we got, Rosie?
Okay, we've got splat, kind of the sound of something hitting pavement. Yep. We've got clang, which is like the clanging of a bell. We've got bang, which sounds like something exploding. Whoosh, which sounds like air, wind. Beep.
Yeah.
Beep sounds like a beeping.
Like that is literally. So if you are trying to summon up the actual sound of a thing and transcribe it and use it as a noun or verb, you're using onomatopoeia. I know it's a terrifying looking word, right? Like no one word should have this many vowels in front of the other. I get it. I'm terrified of spelling this word, but I managed to do it apparently, and now you know what it means, and that should take away some of its scariness and impart to you some of its power. Because here at Khan Academy, we want you to have the power to harness language, and specifically today to harness these three different language styles. So alliteration, repeating the same consonant a bunch of times in a row. So swimming, swiftly, surely, and straight ahead.
Assonance, where you repeat the same vowel, like abolished all anguish.
And onomatopoeia, where you make a word that sounds like what the word's effect is. So the bees buzzed, the pudding cup went splat, the boxing bell fell to the floor with a clang, the firework went off with a bang.
I think you guys can get the point there. So those are the three that we need to know. And so what I'll do is I'm going to share this PowerPoint too. But the definition here, so we have alliteration. I think you remember this. So those are the ones that start with the same sound, and I think are the same consonant. And those are the fun ones. Those are the all the tongue twisters, the ones that you're used to. I'm sure you can think of some examples. I know my kids are actually experimenting with these just a couple days ago. So it's a repetition of an initial letter or sound in close connecting words. And so the alliteration, I think you have some experience with, and you've probably used it before, but it is used in poetry to create an effect. So when you have those repeating sounds, both with alliteration and assonance, it actually really does help kind of the flow of both your regular writing, but also it is used in poetry. And often alliteration and assonance are those tools that songwriters use to make the sounds of their words flow in their song. Okay, so alliteration is the first one, and then assonance is the one that uses repetition of a vowel sound. And what you need to know about these is the vowel sound isn't just at the beginning like they did in the video. So the moon rose over an open field. So rose, that vowel sound is actually in the middle, whereas these two, it starts at the beginning, but it's actually the repetition of that vowel sound. Here it is in the middle, proud, round, cloud. So again, assonance is that repetition of vowel sound. The one they didn't recover is consonants, okay? This is the repetition of consonants in quick succession in a sentence. So in this case, this is the S sound, grassy summer days. This kind of device actually creates that just a better sound, more of a flow. So when you hear grassy summer days, that S sound is kind of just lingering there, and so it creates a nice flow to it. Pitter patter. I think you know where that comes from. And so again, it has that. It's just neat to hear those consonant sounds repeated. So that's what consonants is. Assonance, vowel. Consonants are actually repetition of consonant, whereas then alliteration is actually saying the same initial letter or sound over and over again. So consonants, the only difference between alliteration and consonants is that the vowels, the consonant sound in consonants is throughout the word, whereas alliteration happens at the beginning of the word. Okay, the onomatopoeia is a fun one to say. There was actually a challenge a while ago whether or not a songwriter could include the word onomatopoeia in their actual song because it's such a challenging word even to say, but also to rhyme with. So I think that was taken by an artist, and they actually were successful in doing that. The onomatopoeia, I like the way they said it in the video. It is just a word that imitates the natural sound of a thing. So if the word is actually a sound itself, a sound effect, like they said on the video, then it is an onomatopoeia. You heard some of the examples, that buzzing, the splash, thump, even roaring is an actual sound. Rustling, these are really good words, again, to use in your regular writing. But they're also used in poetry because they have such a powerful impact. It is actually an action when you say those, like an actual thing that you can hear. So you connect with those words in a few different ways. Okay, so those are the 4 that are going to be on your actual assignment. So hopefully you can remember them and use them in that. Okay.